Good evening, this is Brother Bro here, and I'm reviewing Twinless. The Oscar expert did not see Twinless because Sundance pulled it from their platform because some motherfuckers were taking screenshots of the film and posting them. So those people, you ruined it for everybody. Hopefully this won't impact the future of Sundance films streaming online. This has been a valued option for many people, and we don't want to ruin that. This film is written and directed and stars James Sweeney, as well as Dylan O'Brien. This film's about two young men who meet in a twin bereavement support group, and they form an unlikely bromance. This film's very interested in exploring the coveted bond that twins have that other relationships just cannot compete with. And as an identical twin myself, I can testify that it is a bond that you don't have with anybody else and you can't really replicate it. And it really is like having a built-in best friend from the time you were a child. There are many things that I related to in this film, like when Dylan O'Brien's character said that he could not socialize properly because he always had a built-in best friend. The one thing I couldn't relate to is living apart from your twin and growing very distant from them, which is the relationship that Dylan O'Brien had with his deceased twin, making that relationship unresolved. And there's a lot of twists in this film, actually, so I really can't get too deep into the plot. But I will say that this film was really funny, very entertaining. It makes sense that it won the audience award. Like, I was already hearing that this film was a huge breakout and a huge audience hit before it won. This may have been my guess that it would have won this or Sorry Baby. I think the audience award does do a good job at strongly recommending some really good films from Sundance, whereas I think the jury prize this year was an absolute dud. Like, Atropia, that just was not worthy of the top prize. Are you kidding me? James Sweeney as a director is both pretty restrained and sometimes really innovative with what he's doing with the camera. And I kind of like that combination of, you know, when we're in a scene with characters, like, we're not shown a lot of style because we're just supposed to be observing the scene, but in other occasions there are just some shots that are really interesting, or uses of reflections that obviously have some poignancy here. But there were two shots in particular that I thought were absolutely stunning, and I was in awe at how they were done. You know, one of them kind of involves this like almost perpetual zoom out, and then the other one involves a split screen. You know, there were just some really cool tricks that this director pulled out of his bag, and they were very welcome and fascinating. Like, I feel like I haven't seen those done in exactly that way before. This kind of innovation with camera work is almost like better than any visual effect you could come up with, because if we haven't seen it before, it's just a way to stun the audience from just pure raw kind of talent and creativity. But again, this film isn't drenched in that sort of style. I think the other thing James Sweeney did really well was capturing a tone between comedy and drama, where really it leans into the humor in many of the dramatic moments, but I think that works because, like, the whole bereavement of a twin is just such a dour and deeply upsetting subject that it was very much needed here. And this is a really funny film. Like, I would love to watch it again just to laugh, like, for no other reason. Some of the lines are extremely witty and clever, and just the dialogue in general was very memorable. I wish I could pull up some quotes from my memory. Dylan O'Brien is really strong here as the lead. He gets to have a lot of fun in this role, and he's also great when he's needed to be deep and dramatic. And Aisling Franciosi is great in a supporting turn here. I remember her in The Nightingale, but I did not recognize her in this role. I just knew I've seen her before, and I think it's because the character is just so different. Like, she just feels like she's always been this person, which is a huge compliment to this performance, her ability to capture that character. You know, and she plays someone who is easy to laugh at, but also feels like they have this integrity and intellect, and I think she balanced that really well. And James Sweeney is really charming here in the lead role. Now, I did not know that the actor playing this character was also the writer-director, but at the end of the film, I said to myself, I'm pretty sure that was written and directed by that actor. And the reason I knew that is because oftentimes writer-directors will give themselves this kind of role where the character has this like wry sense of humor, like they're almost making jokes to themselves that the audience is in on, but that other people can't hear. And I thought he was just a little bit less of like a trained actor than the other actors like Dylan O'Brien. You know, so I think this was a good performance. I don't think he quite has like the acting range, but I don't think many people are gonna complain about this. Like, he's really funny and he's able to capture the character that he's written for himself very well. Overall, I would give this film an 8 out of 10. I can see why it won the audience award. I hope it's going to be a hit. I hope this gets some really nice distribution. And I really want the best for this original and touching comedy. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. How do you know you didn't have a twin in the womb that you ate?